Perfection. When you hear that word, what map do you think of? Well, some of you might say Shadows of Evil or maybe even Origins, but the map that is close to perfection is Der Eisendrache. Now I know I just made a video on why Shadows of Evil is perfect, and I still do think that, but I think Der Eisendrache is the perfect map for every single person that picks up zombies. Casual, new, or even hardcore, this map will fit that playstyle. And I'm going to tell you everything that makes this map a pinnacle. Now before we talk about this map, we have to go all the way back to December 21st, 2015, when Der Eisendrache was first talked about. You have to remember, our last 4 zombies maps were all bangers, and Der Eisendrache would soon be the next. The community got a video basically going over the whole DLC coming to Black Ops 3, and Jason Blundell, the director of Zombies at the time, basically talked about a little bit of the map.
I'm a sucker for medieval castles.
Now fast forward about a month later, and we got a trailer for the map, and it was phenomenal. We got dragons, bows, gravity spikes, and so much more. The hype for this map was there, but this map had a lot of potential in the community's eyes, and it would not let us down. February 2nd, 2016, the release of Der Eisendrache, and right off the rip we see a rocket fly off into the sky, which has Ultimus Dempsey inside the rocket as it is being sent off to the Griffin station on the moon for an experiment. Our main goal is to basically get Dempsey back and take his soul for the summoning key. Now let's just talk about the whole setup of this map. The best way to describe the setup is that it's like a dumbed down version of Origins. Getting power is simple, as you just have to turn it on just like the older maps, and getting Pack-a-Punch is also very simple, as you just have to teleport 3 pieces to different areas. Getting power and Pack-a-Punch is the biggest breath of fresh air, as the past maps had a lot of remembering and parts to pick up for power and Pack-a-Punch, and this map is the first Jason Blundell map to have a classic power turn on. Now once you got the power and Pack-a-Punch, the main thing to go for are the 4 elemental bows of the map. These are just like the staffs, but a whole lot easier to get. First, you need to get the unupgraded bow, the base version, which is pretty easy to get, as all you have to do is fill up 3 dragon heads around the map, which is pretty similar to doing the dog heads on Mob of the Dead. Once you get all 3, you get the base version. There are 4 elemental bow quests to go for: the Storm, the Wolf, the Fire, and the Void. All 4 quests are pretty easy, the easiest being the lightning bow, which is the best one to go for, and the hardest would be the void bow. But compared to getting all the staffs on Origins, these quests are a whole lot easier, especially for any new or casual fans. Now the Storm Bow is without a doubt the best one, as you shoot out this huge roaming storm that kills any zombies when near. The Wolf Bow I would say is the second best, which is personally my favorite. This bow is like a thunder gun on a bow and arrow, as it shoots out this huge blast that sends zombies flying. The Void Bow I would say is interchangeable though with the Wolf Bow, as it shoots out this void portal where they send these keeper skulls that kill zombies, which is kind of similar to the Storm Bow, but isn't as good. Now the worst bow and no J456 favorite bow is the Fire Bow. This one is definitely the worst out of the 4, as when you shoot it, it makes zombies like stuck in this rock and it burns them. This is definitely the weakest bow of the 4. Now after you upgrade your bow, there's still more to get. You need to get the specialist weapon of the map. The specialist is pretty easy to get, as you just have to get 3 parts to build. 1, you have to kill the Panzer, the boss zombie of the map. The next part, you have to activate the Death Ray, which is a trap in the center of the map. Once it's done, there will be a part floating up in the sky. It will either be on the left or right. Depending on which side it's on is which Wonder Spear you will have to take, which is basically the teleportation of the map that flings you up into the sky. Once you get that, you need to go to the launch pad and wait for the rocket test to go off. Once it goes off, you need to flip the lever and go inside and kill the zombies coming at you and wait for the test to end. Once it ends, you hit the button and the part will spawn in the teleporter. Once you got all 3, you can now build yourself the gravity spikes, or also known as the Ragnarok DG4. Now this specialist weapon is alright, as one attack you just slam the ground just like the one in multiplayer, and another attack, which is more like a defense, you drop the spikes and the zombies near will float up in the air and die. This is probably one of my least favorite specialists in BO3 compared to like the gauntlet or the sword, as this specialist is only really used for its defense ability, but it is still pretty good, I guess. Now once you got everything, it is time to do the Easter egg. The Easter egg overall is pretty easy if you run the right setup, but can be complicated for some people as there is a lot of memorization, and if you mess up on some of the steps you will be punished. Now the first thing to do is get the upgraded bow, and you only have to get one if you're solo, unlike in Origins where you have to get all 4 staffs. But once you get the bow, you need to get the base version and shoot all the prongs on the teleporter to activate the wisp step. This step is basically how you go back in time and is important for the Easter egg. You need to shoot these sparks around the map with the upgraded bow that randomly spawn around the map. Once you shoot enough, you basically go back in time and pick up some pieces and get the code for the vault. Once you got the code and go back, you need to go to the computer, put the code in for the vault, and pick up some pieces for the death ray to switch it. Once you do that, you go do Samantha Says on one of the computers, one being up near the death ray and the other being down on the launch pad. Once you do that, you basically get to shoot Dempsey out of the sky. This part is very cool as you get a little in-game event. Once Dempsey falls, you need to pick up the golden rod and repeat the wisp step. Go back in time again to pick up the stone tablet. Then you need to put the rod to get the ghost keeper. Then follow the keeper around the map, which will go to 3 locations, and you need to fill up souls with your bow. Once you've done all 3, you go back to the pyramid and send the keeper to Griffin Station. Once you've done that, get ready for one of the coolest boss fights. This map basically introduces the first real boss fight as you fight that giant keeper that you just sent. And this boss is actually hard, especially if you don't run the right setup. This whole boss fight is just filled with chaos as you got skeleton zombies chasing you and panzers spawning left and right. Once you complete the boss fight, you get to experience the most pivotal moment in all of zombies. I'm gonna play this clip from Noah J456 when they got world's first, as you get to see what the whole community got to experience for the first time.
Where?
Simon Says computer.
30 seconds to impact.
Oh god. Oh
Oh,
god.
it said 30 seconds to impact.
What?
No, what the fuck did you do, bro?
Oh my god, run!
No, what did you do?
Go to
Whoa!
Dempsey! Go to
Whoa!
Dempsey!
You are fully governed.
Go to Dempsey.
Oh my god!
We're gonna float the moon. What? Holy!
And my own
I'm
will
missing the sit!
will not prevent the advancement
What?
of our cause.
Shh.
You have stopped nothing.
Oh, holy shit!
What?
Oh my god!
What?
What?
The road is long and
Ooh.
dark, but I know where we are going. We will complete our mission.
Oh my
Hold on, shush, shush.
He's still alive.
I fucking hope so.
This subject will one day wreak havoc across the entire universe. He cannot be allowed to live.
This wasn't how it was supposed to go. We were supposed to secure the package and be in and out clean. Instead, the whole thing's been one disaster after another. I should never have trusted you, Richtofen. Never!
You should trust me, Dempsey. You all should. This artifact has the power to contain and preserve the subject's soul. Your soul. But it can only be done after the moment of death. Just as you saw me do to my other self. It is the only way.
Wait! If someone's gotta take him out to save the universe, then it should be me that does it.
Oh my god.
Good to see you, Tank.
Tactical nuke incoming!
what a ending. You get to blow up the moon. One of the craziest endings to a map, and then you get to experience one of the craziest cutscenes, as it really gets the story of Black Ops 3 rolling. This ending is honestly one of my favorites. Now let's talk about the flow of the map. This map, in my opinion, is one of the best flowing maps of all time. The layout is amazing as it feels like a classic zombies map. You have two pathways leading to the middle where the power is, and each side can also lead down to the underground, which is basically like the main spot of the map. And it all leads back to the starting room. This is just perfect. And on top of that, you have the Wonder Spear, which is great for transportation, where you can go from one side of the map to another. It can even take you to the launch pad and back. These teleportation spots are just perfect where they are placed and are very helpful. And on top of that, it's fucking cool to use, where you are literally flying around the map. It's like a trample steam on crack. I find myself using this Wonder Sphere a lot as it really helps to get out of certain situations and is one of my favorite transportations in all of zombies. Now for the difficulty. This map overall is not difficult at all, which is why it's perfect for casuals. The bows are easy to get and they're really good. The Storm is definitely the most overpowered, as you can basically camp anywhere with this weapon, and the ammo is pretty good, and on top of having the overpowered gobblegums. And you get dog rounds for max ammo. Honestly, the only difficult thing about this map is dealing with the Panzers. The Panzers are back from Origins but are a little bit different. This version of the Panzers doesn't have the claw that can grab you. This one now has shock charges, and they can mess you up sometimes, especially in the high rounds or when you're training zombies. The best way to kill these Panzers is with the Death Ray Trap, which can basically hold the Panzers up in the air and you can just shoot them without having any trouble. Overall, this map is probably one of the easier maps on Black Ops 3. Now at the beginning of this video, I said this map is perfect, and I also said that in my Shadows video. Now Shadows of Evil is perfect for hardcore players, and Der Eisendrache is perfect for casual players. The setup for this map is not hard, and there are a ton of camping spots that can get you to really high rounds, and honestly, that is my biggest issue with this map. I think it's good for new players, but for me personally, I like more of the challenging maps. I think this map is way too easy and can be a bit boring after a while. Another problem that I have are some of the steps make you wait a lot, like for the rocket tests, to get the gravity on. I honestly think it would have been better off to make that whole room to have the gravity on the whole time, as it would have made the map a lot more unique than it already is. And overall, the problems I have with this map are really not all that big of a deal, which goes to show how good this map is. Now in conclusion, I think this map is perfect for every type of player, and it makes sense that it's in everyone's top 5 or top 3 or even as the #1 map. Everything about this map is phenomenal, and still to this day it is still the perfect map for every player. This map overall is legendary.